Hi guys, welcome to our daily encounter. Today we read about Balaam and his donkey. And this was a time in which Balaam was on his way to see Balak, who had wanted Balaam to come and curse the children of Israel. And Balaam goes on a journey to go see Balak, but while he's going, the angel of the Lord appears and stands guard in the pathway. And Balaam isn't able to see the angel, but the donkey is. And while they're in a field, the donkey goes astray. Balaam strikes the donkey, gets him back on the path. And then they go a little further and they find themselves in a vineyard and a narrow path with walls on either side. And the donkey sees the angel of the Lord and actually crushes one of Balaam's feet. And Balaam once again strikes the donkey. And then they find themselves after that in a very narrow path where there is no turning whatsoever. And once again, the donkey sees the angel and there's nowhere to turn. So the donkey just lays down. And Balaam strikes the donkey with a stick. And then Balaam and his donkey have a conversation about what just happened. And then the Lord appears and tells him, look, if the donkey wouldn't have seen the angel of the Lord, if he had not done what he did, the angel would have struck you down and let her live. And so the donkey, through being able to see what Balaam was not able to see, actually saved Balaam's life, even though Balaam had struck the donkey those 3 times. And what this story can remind us is that all the time there are forces, there are realities, there are beings that go far beyond what we are able to physically see. And it's something that we need to remember. It might very well be the case that during the day, we too are struggling with our own donkey, whatever it might be. It might be some type of annoying circumstance. It might be some inconvenience that we have to face. It might be some struggle with maybe a coworker or something else, and we become discouraged. Maybe we become angry. Maybe we become despondent. And we might begin to think that I'm only wrestling with this particular situation, or I'm only wrestling with this particular individual. And forget that there are spiritual realities. There are realities beyond what we can visibly see that are always at work. Elisha's servant got a glimpse into what was going on beyond the physical realm. Remember, the Arameans had basically surrounded Elisha and his servant's becoming afraid, and Elisha prays for him that his eyes would be open, and his eyes are open, and he's able to see the chariots of fire all around them. And his servant's able to see what was truly there beyond the physical realm. And we're even told this in the New Testament in Ephesians chapter 6. In Ephesians chapter 6, the Apostle Paul encourages the church by saying in verse 10, "Finally, be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might. Put on the full armor of God so that you may be able to stand firm against the schemes of the devil. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the powers, against the world forces of this darkness, against the spiritual forces of wickedness in the heavenly places." And this is something we should be aware of and something we should remember. Our day-to-day struggles oftentimes are incited by or developed by unseen forces that we don't know about. And sometimes it might very well be the case that those situations and circumstances that annoy us, that make us angry, like what happened with Balaam, might be the very circumstances that the Lord uses to save us and to get us out of bad situations, or to maybe even save our lives in certain cases. We just don't know. And so what this ought to do for us is to remember, when we're going through our daily struggles, to always be aware and to be thinking about what's truly lying under the surface. And in doing so, be motivated to take all situations in prayer before the Lord. Because we can't see ultimately what's going on around us, but the Lord can. And we don't know exactly how each situation will work out, but the Lord knows. And we can take those situations to the Lord. We can ask the Lord to give us wisdom and how to respond in this situation. We can trust in the Lord that He will help us and guide us through those situations. And we can begin to view those situations as opportunities to trust all the more in the Lord, to put on a more prayerful disposition, and to walk by faith, and to know that the Lord has us. He has our back. He's going to give us the strength. He's going to give us the guidance to get through those difficult situations. But we need to walk by faith as we encounter those situations. So as we read this story of Balaam and his donkey, let's not be like Balaam, who can't see beyond his physical eyes. Let's be, in a sense, like the donkey, who is able to recognize those spiritual realities and is able to respond appropriately in that way. So here's some things we can reflect on and think about as we do our reading today. With that, guys, I do thank you for watching the video today. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys. God bless.